Lawsalooza podcast, a legal comedy podcast where we discuss some of the most ridiculous laws and funny cases around the world while sipping some adult beverages, all related to this week's theme. My name is Lindsey Reedy, and I'm a pickle.
My name's Shawna Vasilko, and I'm a pirate. Arr.
And my name's Miranda Dews, and I'm goth fashion icon Wednesday Adams.
We are three North Carolina attorneys that are bringing you a unique twist on legal cases. But nothing in this podcast should be construed as legal advice. I would hope you wouldn't take legal advice from a pickle, a pirate, and Wednesday Adams, but here we are. Don't forget to like and subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Lawsalooza Podcast. Do you have a law or a case suggestion? If so, feel free to shoot us an email at lawsaloozapodcast@gmail.com. And now for this week's episode. The theme this week is Halloween, which is why we're all dressed up. If you are not actually visibly watching the episode, you are missing out. So make sure you go watch it on YouTube. But anyway, so this week's drink is, I forgot the name of it actually. We're going to call it the Halloween drink.
Okay. That works.
And Shawna, what's the law we're looking at this week?
I have the case.
Oh. Miranda, what's the law we're looking at this week?
My law is called No Fun in Virginia.
Oh, okay. Shawna, case?
And I actually have three cases. One is on a haunted house, one is on a costume, and one is on decorations.
Okay. Alrighty then. Well, we'll jump right into the drink that I forgot the name of, but we're going to call it the Halloween Orange Sherbet Cocktail. So, it's made with orange sherbet, which is melty now, but also vanilla vodka, Oreos, and whipped cream. The Oreos are supposed to go on top of the whipped cream, but I mixed the steps up. So, cheers. Here's hoping it tastes better than it looks.
That's tasty.
That is really good.
Okay,
It just tastes like ice cream.
It does.
I like this a lot. Good job, Lindsey.
Guys, did I just redeem myself from all of these weeks of awful drinks?
I was a little worried you were going to try to do some kind of pickle drink, and I was like, ooh.
Oh, no.
That would be cruel.
I thought we were going to have to hurt her.
I would not subject you guys to that.
Especially when she came in here saying, oh, my drink's very complicated this week. I was like, we've heard that before.
This is very, very tasty.
This is really good.
Oh!
I approve. Good job.
Yay! Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I will share the recipe from the mystery drink in the section below.
It was very orangey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's perfect Halloween colors.
Yeah.
It is. It's pretty.
Yeah, good job. All right. Are we ready for the law?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this week's law comes to you from Virginia. Where if we were in Virginia right now, we would all be probably arrested.
What?
Maybe
I don't
not.
like that.
So anyways, in Chesapeake, Virginia, there's Chesapeake Municipal Code 46-8, which is titled Trick or Treat Activities. So this law is to regulate the age of people that are allowed to go trick-or-treating and also the times that this activity is allowed to occur.
That's kind of rude.
A little bit. So their law states that only children 14 and under are permitted to celebrate Halloween by trick-or-treating or similar activities, which it doesn't define what a similar activity is, so I don't really know.
A Halloween party could be a similar activity.
Yeah, really, like anything, or like those trunk or treats, I guess, that churches do.
Yeah,
Can't do that anymore.
treats.
So they did say the officers aren't out there carding children to check their ages. But
that would be hard to do.
Yeah, well, it's hard. I like the Identikid cards.
I know, yeah, they just
those?
look at you and you hope you look really young or
that's
something.
problematic in real life.
Yeah, so anyways, they aren't checking the ages of children as long as the celebrations are orderly and respect the law. Again, not defined, so whatever that means. But here's the kicker. They threaten jail time. What? Listen, the penalty is like outrageous. I was like, I cannot believe this. So they threaten jail time for anyone over the age limit, according to this Chesapeake Municipal Code. Anyone over the age of 14 caught participating in trick-or-treating or similar activities, and this is a direct quote from their municipal code, shall be guilty of a misdemeanor and shall be punished by a fine of not less than $25 nor more than $100, which doesn't seem too bad until you get to the next part, or by confinement in jail for not more than 6 months.
Dang.
Or both.
And shall really means must.
Yes. Yeah, wild, right? So
Well, I wonder if that is more of a deterrent for the disorderly activity.
I don't know. But then it goes on to say this. They also can't be out past 8 p.m. So ideally, the law states that ideally this activity of trick-or-treating would happen between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m., so not past that. So if you're out past 8 p.m., that's like it's still part of the same municipal code, 46-8. It's just like another subsection of it. So if you're out past 8 p.m. trick-or-treating and you're under 14, so you're allowed to be trick-or-treating.
Straight to jail.
It's just past 8, maybe. So that's punishable by a fine of not less than $10 nor more than $100 or by confinement in jail for not more than 30 days or both. What? Wild, right? What? Yeah. So this law has been in effect since 1970. So it used to be that this applied to anyone under age 12, and then it looked like maybe in 2017 or 2019, like fairly recently, they upped the age to 14. So I don't know what their reason was for that. If they're just like 14-year-olds can celebrate, but once you're 15, sorry.
I don't approve.
Which is wild.
What if you're just going around with like your younger sister?
That's a great question. So in that
and you're dressed
case,
up for fun.
Well, you couldn't be dressed up. So the city back before like 2019, I guess, when the age was 12, the city website had a disclaimer on it, which has since, I suppose, changed. But a couple of years ago, they had a website, or like a caveat on their website that said, a 13-year-old safely trick-or-treating with a younger sibling is not going to have any issues, but a teenager taking pumpkins from porches and smashing them in the street will. So I'm like, you clearly don't understand what trick-or-treating is.
Right. Trick-or-treating isn't smashing pumpkins.
And that's not even a similar
vandalism.
activity. That is vandalism, which is already punishable by a statute. Like, smashing people's
personal
yard
property.
decorations is not trick-or-treating or similar activities. And I'm like, so like, I don't know what the purpose of the statute was, because like that activity, like the vandalism, destruction of property, there's already a law for that.
I wonder if it was for like parents, where they were like, okay, the law says you're 15, you can't go out or you're going to get in trouble. But beforehand, maybe parents were just like, go trick-or-treat, you're 15. And so they were being naughty and smashing pumpkins. I don't know.
No, but anyways,
trying to rationalize a crazy law.
It does allow parents, guardians, and other responsible persons with a child under 14 lawfully in their custody to accompany the child. And it makes it a class 4 misdemeanor for anyone engaging in this activity past 8 p.m. or over 14. So it's a class 4 misdemeanor. There's other cities in Virginia like Norfolk and Virginia Beach. Newport News, notably, has a similar law classifying this activity also as a class 4 misdemeanor, and that's in their city code section 28-5. Except in Newport News, the age is 12, and I believe in some of the other cities too is 12. Chesapeake just raised it. But in Newport News, the fine is $250, so it's substantially more. I don't know if it's jail time, but they also say that parents accompanying these children are prohibited from wearing a mask per city code, or you will be fined or
I love dressing up
jail.
when I would go with my kids.
Nope, can't do that here. Can't do that here. I feel like the kids like that too, because a lot of times I see it's like a family costume, but not in Virginia. Don't go out in your cute family costumes, or you'll be stuck with I guess both parents will get a fine. That's $500. That's kind of or 6 months in jail.
One year I made my family do family costumes because the kids were little. And they had to. But one was a football player that was beat up. One was a referee. One was a cheerleader. No, a cheerleader. I don't know. It was fun.
Well, not in Virginia, because they say that you can't have fun on Halloween unless you are a child under the age of 14 or 12.
I don't like that.
I thought that was crazy too. And I'm like, can you imagine? Because then technically like a 14 or a 15-year-old, I guess, could be thrown in jail for 6 months by these rules, which seems really
extreme.
Like very extreme for trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
I guess like the people that getting candy are going to report them like, oh, you look like an older kid, so I'm going to call the police on you.
Just give them
I would hope not. At least
Especially if they're not
into,
smashing your pumpkins. Just give them the candy.
If they're not into trouble, like, come on.
Just let them enjoy
being a kid.
Yeah, nope, not in Virginia. No fun for you.
Well, I don't
Straight
like
to
it.
jail.
I don't like it at all.
Straight to jail.
Not a fan.
Well, I have 3 fun cases for you that I think fit our theme very well. The first one I'm going to talk about is the costume case. So everyone loves a good DIY Halloween costume, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys ever make DIY Halloween costumes?
I did once.
What'd you make?
So my friend and I, who's also a girl in Korea, this is important for the story. So when we lived in Korea, we decided we were going to go as Team Rocket from Pokemon. And where one is a boy and one is a girl. Mm-hmm. And so it was really funny. We made our own costumes, but we ran out of time, so we literally just got white shirts and markers and wrote R on them. And then we ran into, while we were out, another couple.
So crafty.
Another couple who had gone as Team Rocket, and they had like delicately hand sewed their thing, and we looked like the Walmart version of Team Rocket. Walmart. It was really funny.
You made a DIY costume?
Not that I can recall off the top of my head.
Really?
Yeah, I'm terrible. I'm making the one for this Halloween.
Oh, are you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I am
there
too.
wasn't a great version of it, so.
I'm making the one for this Halloween, but I love to make my kids' Halloween costumes. One year, I hand sewed my daughter's Cruella de Vil costume, like the fur jacket, and my son's Dalmatian costume. I made them go as
That's so
Super cute.
but yeah, I like to make Halloween costumes. They're fun. So I'm making this year's as well.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Well, this story involves a DIY Halloween costume.
Oh no.
So Mr. Frank Ferlito and his wife Susan also loved making a good DIY Halloween costume. In 1984, the couple were attending a costume party hosted by some friends, and the pair decided to dress up as Little Bo Peep and her sheep.
Okay.
Susan crafted her husband's costume by gluing Johnson & Johnson cotton balls to a pair of long johns. Or long underwear. I don't know. You know what those
Yeah.
are?
Yeah.
Okay. She even made him a headpiece with ears. Mr. Ferlito was covered from head to ankle in the cotton balls.
Oh no, is he gonna catch on fire?
At the party, Why do you always guess what I'm gonna say? So Mr. Ferlito attempted to light a cigarette with a butane lighter. The flame passed his left arm and caught on fire. The fire caused burns to 1/3 of his body.
Oh no.
So, what do you do when you catch on fire?
Stop, drop, and roll.
No, you sue Johnson & Johnson.
Oh, just kidding.
Why?
Failure to warn on their packaging.
Okay, I just feel like it's common sense that a cotton ball would catch on fire. Right?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that seems pretty logical.
Well, during the trial, the couple testified that they were aware the product was flammable. Additionally, Miss Ferlito did not testify that a warning on the package would have deterred her from using the cotton balls to create the sheep costume.
So they lost.
Yeah, the court ultimately found that Johnson & Johnson's failure to warn was not found to be a proximate cause of Mr. Ferlito's injuries.
I feel like his stupidity was the direct cause.
Let's see. I'm covered in flammable products. Let me get a butane lighter, not just like a little lighter. And
That seems very aggressive.
catch my whole
For a cigarette?
my whole self.
Yeah.
Like,
So they lost that case.
I'm sure they did.
Did they get
as they
divorced?
I didn't say anything about that, but
Because I'm just wondering, like, if you
Well,
you
she
made your
made the
husband
cos-
dress up like a sheep,
and he caught on fire.
and he got on fire.
I feel like that would not go over well.
First off, my husband would be like, "No, I
Exactly,
am not."
mine too. I'm pretty sure
No,
would not
Jeff,
dress up like
Can you
a
imagine Jeff dressing up as a sheep?
Do not
I
want to
think
imagine
you
that.
need to make that this year. 'Cause-
God, no.
New costume idea.
yes.
I honestly, okay, well, we might have like a mid-Halloween party change into the sheep costume.
Please do.
I'll rewear this pickle costume and he can be a sheep.
That doesn't even go together.
Can you imagine him coming down the stairs?
No. Only if you put a leash around it too.
Oh, God! No, Shawna, no! Oh, God.
Okay, moving on to the next case.
Let's
The
move
haunted house
That's
case.
a good idea.
Grenada Athletic Boosters operated a haunted house at Mel Oat Playground in Grenada, Louisiana. I think I'm saying that right. To raise money for their athletic program. The haunted house was constructed of 2x4s and cinder block covered in black fabric.
Oh no.
There were
think I can-
don't guess.
Where this is
No
going?
guessing this time. There were numerous cubby holes where scary exhibits were displayed. One Booster Club member was stationed at the entrance and one at the exit. Approximately 18 people participated in the haunted house by working the exhibits inside. Near and along the entrance of the haunted house was a bathroom building constructed of cinder blocks
Oh, no.
as well.
So they made a bathroom for it, or it was already a bathroom?
It was already a bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Deborah Mays and her daughter's friend, about a 10-year-old little girl, decided to enter the haunted house on October 29th, 1988.
Oh no.
It was nighttime and was dark inside. Deborah testified someone jumped out and hollered, scaring the child into running. She too was also frightened and began to run. She ran directly into the cinder block wall. There was no lighting in that part of the haunted house at all. Deborah hit the wall face first and began bleeding profusely from her nose.
Oh no.
Who just runs with their face out like
Well-
this? When I'm running away from something, I feel like your hands are out. How fast was she running?
Oh, she was bolting for
She
her
was
life.
getting out of
With
there.
just her face
Yeah.
head first like this?
No, she was running like this with her arms stretched out.
She testified that she required 2 surgeries to repair her nose.
Oh my God.
No.
So she decided to sue.
Of course, as one does.
The court found that there was no duty owed to Miss Mays's reacting, and I quote, bizarre, frightened, and unpredictable ways.
I'd say running face first into a wall is unpredictable.
Is it really unpredictable that you're going to be frightened in a haunted house?
No, but it's
Running
unpredictable that you're
into-
gonna run like this. Like, who runs like that? When it's
Well, I'll
dark,
finish and then I'll tell
I
you.
run with my hands. I move with my hands out.
I'll tell you what happened to me in a haunted house in a minute.
Oh no.
Because when someone enters a haunted house, they are expected to be surprised, startled, and scared by the exhibits.
Mm-hmm. So what happened to you in the haunted house?
So my uncle and my mom took me to a haunted house, and I did not want to go. I do not like haunted houses.
No, I don't either.
I don't want people jumping and scaring me. So
How
they
old were you?
I don't know. 5th, 6th grade.
Okay.
So what is it? 9, 10, 11?
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So they took me, and I went, and people started jumping out at me. And what do? I just scream, and I start running and pushing whatever's in front of me.
Yeah.
And I shoved my uncle into this wall, and he's like, "You gotta move! I can't get out." I just kept going, and then people started
you
coming
put
at me.
hands
I
out
did.
though, so it's the smart way.
Then when I get out the door, damn chainsaw person comes after me, and I just duck down and start screaming.
No.
I've never been back to a haunted
No,
house
no.
since. And we'll never go back.
No, I don't do haunted
I
houses.
don't mind, but I had this one experience where I was going through, and it was a really tight crawl space where you had to maneuver through the crawl space.
Nope.
And I have been scarred ever since then. Scary people jumping out, fine, but like the claustrophobic feeling
Nope.
of having to squeeze, Nope.
Nope.
Hard
don't
pass.
like it.
Nope.
So my final case is a case of the Halloween decorations.
Okay.
Jeffrey and Vicky Pertel were not happy after their neighbors protested that their RV, an unsightly 38-foot recreational vehicle, was parked in their driveway and demanded that it be removed. The Pertels expressed their annoyance by setting up a Halloween display in their front yard featuring tombstones with messages about their neighbors. Some of the tombstones inscriptions referring to the Purnell's neighbors read as follows, and these are hilarious.
Oh gosh.
Their neighbor James Garbars stated, "Here lies Jimmy, the old town idiot, mean as sin, even without his gin. No longer does he wear that stupid old grin. Oh no, not where they sent him."
Oh my God.
1690
Okay.
was his death, according to the tombstone.
Oh wow.
Then they had a tombstone referring to, I'm assuming his wife, Betty. Betty wasn't ready, but here she lies. Ever since that night she died. 12 feet deep in this trench. Still wasn't deep enough for that winch's stench. 1690 as well. In addition, they placed another Halloween tombstone in the yard concerning their neighbor, Diane Lesner, stating 1610, Diane was known for lying, so she was fried. Now, underneath those daisies is where she goes crazy.
Okay.
So, the neighbors, what do? They call the police and complain
Of course, as one does.
that the inscriptions were about them and they wanted them to be removed.
Okay.
Mr. Pertell refused, telling the officers that he had freedom of speech. But he did agree to cover up the names on the tombstones with duct tape.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, it seems like a compromise.
Fair.
Yeah, if I was mean enough to make those, I would have been like, nope, they're staying just like they are. My in-laws have a neighbor that they put up a huge Halloween decoration. They have a lot of these funny, I don't think they're about any neighbors, but a lot of these funny, grimy inscriptions. It reminds me of the Haunted Mansion. Well, after the tombstones remained on display after Halloween and some of the duct tape had fallen off, the neighbors got upset again and called the police again. When the police returned, a dispute erupted between Mr. Pertell and one of his neighbors. The officers placed Mr. Pertell in handcuffs for disorderly conduct. Pertell then told the officer that he would rather remove the tombstones than be arrested, so the officer honored his request and released him from the handcuffs, and he took down the tombstones. But the Pertells were still not happy, so they sued the officer for violating their free speech rights under the First Amendment. While the court found that the tombstone's messages were indeed protected under the First Amendment, they concluded that the officer made a reasonable mistake in believing that he could constitutionally order the Pertells to remove the tombstones. Therefore, the officer was entitled to qualified immunity.
Okay. I figured that's where that was going.
It's always qualified immunity.
Always
for the
qualified
officers.
immunity.
So those are the cases I have on Halloween. Can you think of a tombstone for Miranda?
I'm not good at.
Rude?
I'm not good at
Fine.
that.
Can you think of one for me?
No, I'm not good at making up weird rhymes.
I'm not either.
Maybe some of our listeners can make up some weird rhymes for us.
Have at it and leave it in the comments.
But it's got to be about a pickle.
Maybe not.
I thought that one through after I said it out my mouth, and
That's okay. It's okay.
probably
It
not a
happens.
good idea. It happens a lot with me.
Okay. Anyways.
Well, back to our regularly scheduled
program.
next week. So
Yeah, no costumes or scary,
no more-
spooky stuff.
no more pickles.
No more spooky
No
things.
more pickles.
No more pickles.
I bet there's a law on pickles from
There
all
probably
our-
is.
do
We
a-
can bring back the pickle.
Bring back pickle. Hashtag 2K22. Okay.
Maybe later. Not next week.
No.
Next
Not
week will be a
next week.
surprise for everyone.
Yeah,
'Cause we don't even
yet.
know.
We don't know.
Well,
All right.
thanks for listening.
Cheers. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.